In this video, we will look how we can build this form using Flutter. The fields we have in this form are username field, an email field, a password field, and a password confirmation field. We will be implementing validation for form fields. If we provide a short username, it will show an error. Username must be at least 4 characters long. Other fields are required. Now we will give a proper username. Email should be in the correct format, otherwise it will give an error. Now we will provide an email in correct format. Password should be at least 8 characters. Enter a 8 character password. It will validate OK. The form will only submit to the backend if password and confirm password matches. We will start our project now. Create a folder for our project and open it in VS Code. Now create a Flutter project. Now we will open the sample counter app in our emulator. For that, we will open our emulator. Our emulator and sample app are running OK. Now we will do some cleaning on the sample app. We will remove the comments and I will delete the my home page widget and recreate it. After recreating, it will only contain an empty container. We will open our blank app in emulator. We will add a sender as child to the container and give some text inside the sender to make sure that everything is OK. Now we will remove our container and add a scaffold widget to get a nice background and app structure. As our form elements are stacked from top to bottom, we will use a column for that structure. We will add the column widget. Inside it we will add a text widget with the text register with us. Next we will add a text form field, which is a text field inside a form. Now to sender elements, we will add the main axis alignment property of the column and give it a value of main axis alignment center. As you may know, column has two axes, main axis and cross axis. Main axis is from top to bottom and cross axis is from left to right. When we give main axis alignment dot center value, the elements come in center in the top to bottom direction. Add other form fields. I have added 4 form fields. Now add an elevated button as our submit button. We will add a text of submit inside it. Now to add some padding on both sides of the form, we will add a container and add some padding to the container. Dot symmetric horizontal means we are adding padding in the left and right side. If it was dot symmetric vertical, it will be top and bottom. Now we will wrap our all the widgets inside a card widget to give some elevation to our form. After that, we will wrap that card in a container widget to give it some height. Media query of context.size.height will give us the whole height of our app. We are giving a 0.7 fraction of it to our card. 0.7 is equivalent to 70% of the height. If we give the height to 0.5, it will be half of the screen height. Now we are going to align this card in the center of the screen. For that we will wrap our widgets in a column widget and use the main axis alignment property. Now it got centered. Now one issue that will come is that when we click the input box, keypad will open and there will be an overflow. Now we will look how to get rid of that overflow. We can solve this issue in two ways. One is to avoid resizing widgets inside the scaffold by setting a property in our scaffold. Other way is to make the area inside the scaffold scrollable. To make the area inside the scaffold scrollable, we will add a single child scroll view widget. Now the overflow has gone. While adding the single child scroll view, we lost our centering. To retain that, we will add a size box and add some height to make the centering. As we are using height in two places now, we will extract it as a variable and we will provide the height. Now the overflow issue is solved. Now we will style our text and change its font size. We will make it a big font size. Now we will add labels to our input boxes. Labels are added using the decoration property. We give a input decoration class as its value and enter the label text. Like that, add labels to other fields also. It is possible to extract this input decoration class as a constant and reuse it, but we are not doing it here. To make the button active, now we will add an empty callback function. Now our UI is complete. We will look validation in another video.